Hey all, Indie Dad Gamer here with a brand new season of Caves of Qud. I want to jump right into this one, so let me just tell you real quick what we're doing. This is called a loot through. We're going to play as a nerd called Poindexter. You'll see all about him when we design the character. And we're going to be a tinker, and we're going to use every useless piece of equipment we find in the game. So let's jump right in. So let's go ahead and create our character. I already have one in the library for us. So let's go ahead and do classic. Library, and then here is Poindexter. This is our tinker. He's a mutated human with electrical generation. Thematically, I figured he would take all the electricity powers, so he has electrical generation and electromagnetic pulse. Not as useful, honestly, but for role-playing purposes, I took it. Same with psychometry, not useful in the least, but he would have it because he's a tinker and he's obsessed with gadgets. So he would want to know how to build everything. Slime glands and socially repugnant go together because he's disgusting and leaky, and multiple arms so he can wield as many of these cool gadgets as possible. Strength 17, agility 18. I kind of see him as maybe a sniper kind of character hiding behind his turrets and gadgets maybe. We'll see how that goes. Toughness 18. I can't play with anything less. The game is just too hard otherwise. Intelligence at 19 because he's gonna just speedrun the tinker category just because he would. Willpower of 17 and ego of 17. So there we go. Let's give him the classic nerd name Poindexter. It's a cool name. I've actually always really liked that name. Alright, so let's do this. I thought we would start in the Salt Marsh. Thematically, this makes sense because our tinker, Poindexter, is going to want to do something immediately that I'll explain once we start doing it here. There you go. You embark for the Caves of Qud. So this is Kapad, the starting village. And, you know, we never really talked much about the game itself, but essentially the main goal of the game is to end up ascending this spire. This is the spindle. It's a space elevator, essentially. And by the end of the game, you climb this thing and things happen that I don't want to talk about in case we actually get there and get to see it. But that's what we're headed towards. And it takes a route through a few different odd characters and situations. But that's the general gist of the game. So let's go ahead and auto-explore our starting village. And as we do that, I'll talk about what we're doing in this run. So as a gadget-obsessed tinker, Poindexter must immediately... Oh, we found a historic site. That's nice. Kirchatara. He must immediately equip any gadgets or weird items that he finds, no matter how useless they may be. That includes things like wrist fans, and he must wear them or use them until the end of this current episode, unless he finds something even weirder to use in its place. Then he has to replace it or add it to his gadgets. He also is going to pick up any electrified items and use those that he finds because he's obsessed with electrified items. What else? I'm trying to think if I had any other... Oh, and as soon as we find glasses or goggles, he must put them on and he can't take them off again the rest of the game. Because, I mean, he can switch them to other kinds of goggles or glasses, but he must always have some sort of corrective lenses on. Because, well, he's Poindexter. Okay, well, here is our starting village, so let's go ahead and see if we can talk to this guy. This is Governor Ulahuogo, the Judicious. Looks like we can ask him for work, so let's see. So our friend here wants us to go look for the stabilizer arm locks of the Pure Jubilee at Seymour. Okay, we can do that for you. Easy enough. And then let's see what kind of reputation our buddy here has. He's loved by his own village. Disliked by Surkumu. Do I care about that? Or Surkumu? I don't think I really care, so let's go ahead and drink with him. Alright, and he can teach us harvestry, which means we can run around and pick up plants. Let's go ahead and do that. Because our guy would be obsessed with learning, so he might take anything that's offered to him from a knowledge standpoint, just for role-playing purposes. Okay, we haven't looked at our inventory yet, but as a tinker we start with some stuff. So we do start with a wrench in our upper right hand. We're going to move that to our main hand. In our lower right hand we have a bronze dagger. We have a torch because we don't have night vision. We have some crocossins, which is pretty nice. We usually start with moccasins, but crocossins give us a point of AV. We have this cloth robe, which looks pretty slick, but we can do better than that. Here is a freeze grenade, an airfoil freeze grenade, nice. A defoliant grenade, poison gas grenade, and sleep gas grenade. So we have some stuff. And as a tinker, we do start with a recipe. So we start with salve injector. I guess that's okay. We'll go ahead and learn it. We have to learn every recipe we pick up, just because we're that kind of guy. And then we're going to go ahead and use our psychometry and learn how to build these grenades. So that's not super useful, but hey, we got it. We might as well use it. This guy's obsessed with knowledge. So there we go. So now we know how to make those. Let's go ahead down to our Dromad buddy here. And I'm going to take my robe off. I'm going to take that off. We are socially repugnant. Oops. So we are going to struggle for money in this game. So we'll see. The prices are going to be pretty rough on us here. This leather armor is usually $14 or so. It's $28. And it's also engraved, which just makes it cost even more. Let's see what this says. Oh, we learned a location of a historic site called Deshan. That's cool. So we'll check out Deshan. Maybe we'll see where it is here in a moment. We're going to go ahead and try to buy that. He only has 9 lead slugs. That's miserable. Does he have a musket? He does. It's 48. Normally 40, I believe. Can we scrape together $80? Let's see. If we sell these... We did start with 2 copper nuggets, which helps. And a dram of honey. We only have 30 drams of water, though, overall. I don't know if we can do this. How much is like 60? We can't really afford to kit out like this. Okay, well this is going to be a bit of a difficult start. We might not want to sell our grenades anyway, because we can do stuff with them. I think if we buy anything though, we should probably buy that leather armor. So let's grab that. And hope for the best. We don't really have any offensive capacity here. Except maybe our turrets or tinkering skills. So we'll see how that works. So let's go ahead and buy this. 20. 21. 23. Let's get a little extra water too. Okay. Let's put the armor on that we just bought. Had to go and be engraved, but that's okay. Now let's go talk to our Mechanimist convert. Are you him? Nope, but he is the tinker. We have to talk to him. He doesn't have work. We have to go speak to Morum, but we do have to look at his inventory because we're just nosy and we have to see what every... he has a reprogrammable recoiler right off the bat. I never find these ever. But of course it costs 1,000 drams and it's just not going to happen. So that's nice though. Maybe that means it'll show up some more. Sometimes when things pop up in the game, they pop up more than once. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to this guy. So, thematically, this guy is the member of the Mechanimist cult. They are the people who live at the bottom of Bethesda Souza, which is one of the dungeons that we have to run for the plot. We didn't get to that in my last run, but hopefully this time we do. The thing is, you want to find this guy in your starting village, though, and talk to him, because you get 1,500 XP just for going to the 6 Days Still, which is a location you're going to go to anyway in the game. So you might as well get some free XP for it. So talk to this guy. He's going to ask you to take a bauble to the 6 Days Still, which means he's going to give you an odd trinket, which of course Argyve is going to immediately want to see what it is. A gyre iron. Okay, so we have our first useless piece of equipment. We have to equip it. Luckily we have an empty hand. Does this do anything at all? I don't know if it does any damage. It doesn't have any stats for damage. But it is now in our hand. And we have to wield it for the rest of the episode. There we go. Thank you, Mechanimist. Okay, so where's this Morum guy? He's the legendary water vine farmer. What do you have for us? Oh, he's asleep. Is there work around here? So he wants us to find a set of angelic cloth overalls at the Tantalum Ventral Akash. I think we can do that. Okay, so we have 2 starting quests right off the bat. But that's not what our character is interested in. He heard rumor that there once was a tinker in this land named Argyve, and Argyve had an assistant who was sent out to look for copper wire for some reason, and never returned. But word is his corpse is still somewhere in these salt marshes. So we are going to go look for that corpse, because that is what this tinker would do. So let's go ahead to the world map. Now, the one thing about this is in every game, you can do this, you can search for this corpse. It always spawns in a center parasang. So in other words, if you just enter a parasang, which we'll do here, we moved to the left, and now we're going to move down from the world map to the local map. It automatically places you in the center. Oh, and look, we leveled up somehow. Okay, so we found Abashur, another village, literally right next to our starting village. That's cool. Okay, well, let's check this out. Go ahead and just do a quick auto explore. If you want to change the speed of your auto explore, you can do that in the settings. Just look for the setting called max auto move cells per second. You can search for that. You may have to turn on advanced settings. So if you go into your options menu and then click up here, show advanced options, it'll open up a whole mess of stuff down here. And then just type in here max. It may even come up just with the word max. Yep, so maximum auto move cells. You can set this to different speeds. The lower the number, the slower you'll move. I have it set to infinite, so I just zip around the screen. But you can set that to whatever you like. It's a handy setting to know about. Okay, so we've searched through the town. Let's go speak to some people. We have Daborhubu, or something close to that. He's a legendary snapjaw hunter. Do you have any work that needs doing? So he wants us to find the lair of Dorkanu. Okay, I like that name. Hey, you're a Dorkanu too. Dorkanu Agdius, the legendary mechanimist pilgrim. Okay, that's pretty cool. And he wants us to find the small wax nodule of the Jumpery aristocracy. Okay, we can do that too. Let's add it to our to-do list. Also, do you have anything to trade? Nothing good. Let's go see the village elder. What's your story? You are loved by your village and Snapjaws, hated by the second Jaramedian society, admired by the Barathromites. We'll get plenty of Barathromite rep, so we don't need to worry about that. And disliked by worms. I don't really need your rep. But do you have anything to trade? So, no. Alright, apothecary. Nothing doing. They do have a tinker. We have to speak to the tinker. That's good to know that we have 2 tinkers right next to each other. That opens up our data disk options quite a bit. So, okay. He has all sorts of good stuff I would love to buy, but I can't because we're disgusting and poor. So, sorry, Mula. I can't make a purchase today. You know, we never spoke to the warden in our starting village. That's okay, though. Okay, so we got another quest, but we're still trying to find Argyve's old assistant. And I didn't get to show you, so you move over to a parasang, which is one of the little rectangles on the screen. And when you enter that parasang, the game automatically puts you in the center of a 9. Oh, we need a torch. Why are you not on? Okay. It puts you in the center of a 9 square parasang, essentially. So there's 9 screens. We're in the center now. If we move down, that would be the bottom center. Just think of a 9 square grid, and we're in the center of that grid. Argyve's assistant will always appear in the center, so you don't have to move to any different screen. Just keep going from parasang to parasang, and keep hitting the caret that takes you down, you know, from the world map to the local map. And eventually, you will find him. Also, this is a pretty good place to level up when you're low leveled in the game. Which also reminds me, I believe we did level up. So let's take a look at that. We got a mutation point. I think the two that we're going to look at mostly are electrical generation and multiple arms. I'm going to put it in electrical generation first, just so we have a little bit of offensive capability. Looking good. Let's go ahead and put something in our thrown weapon slot again. And then, real quick, what does this do? When you bring up your skills menu. So lay mine, you deploy a grenade as a mine, okay, and then you deploy a grenade as a timed bomb. Okay. So there you go. Okay, so we searched this parasite, didn't find what we were looking for, so we just moved down, and you can just do this methodically. Nothing in this one. Move over. We discovered a lair. You will find a bunch of stuff as you do this. Coolatrice, the legendary croc. And now we're level 3. Now, the body will not be in this parasang. It would have told us. But it's pretty cool that we found a lair. I don't know if we're ready to do this right now. So we're probably going to just continue our quest. He's so obsessed with finding this body that he can't do anything else yet. So that's where we're at. Although we did level up again. So let's take a look. I think he's going to take 1 agility. This time we're going to put multiple arms. That means we'll probably end up in multiple weapons, so let's go ahead and take multi-weapon fighting. Okay. Now from now on we'll start prioritizing tinkering. We do have to have some offense though. Okay, so here we go. The next parasang. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do this, and when I find that corpse, unless I find something interesting before I find it, I'll join you then. Okay, so I did run into some interesting stuff. There was a legendary glowfish. I didn't visit him yet, but we'll do that together. I found this set of forgotten ruins where I found 3 books and no enemies. And then I found this set of ruins that I started to explore, but as soon as I saw a rifle turret, I got out of there. So we'll go back and check that out too. But I also found this legendary ape, Kiyomakiamuka, the fashionable, the legendary albino ape, on this random screen here. So let us take a look, see what he's all about, and also kill us some snapjaws for the first time in this game. If we get to them at all, they may do all the work for us, which is okay too. This might actually be the longest I've ever gone without killing a snapjaw in a game. I just picked up a snapjaw corpse by accident. I don't know why. Okay. Here's another one for us to deal with. Okay, he's got some stuff. Grab that. We're going to need a lot of junk to sell because our money is worthless because we're disgusting. So, this map is a mess because of all of the water vine, and I'm going to have to go and find all of the stuff they drop. Alright, so we have a witchwood wreath. That doesn't count as something we need to equip. We have an iron vine reaper. Not something we have to equip, but we may replace our dagger with that. Okay. I can't really auto-explore because there's still enemies scattered about. Although we might have just... Did we just... No, he isn't dead yet, but... Maybe we'll get a bow, finally. Some sort of... Yes. Okay, good. So let's equip that. Now we have a ranged weapon. We don't have any arrows for it, but at least we have the weapon now. So we'll find arrows. I'm not too worried about that. Over here. Gyre iron. I guess we have to equip that, don't we? So where is that going? Well, I can't take, I guess, the torch for now. Later when it's dark and I can't figure out why. You know. Alright, let's see here. We're going to take that and that. We're going to leave the leather armor. Poindexter doesn't care about armor. It's not a gadget. It's clothing. And we are not fashion forward. Oh, we got a weird artifact. Okay, so what did we get here? Ooh, a stun rod. This is absolutely something we would equip, even without any kind of chem cell in it. So I think it's time to say goodbye to one of these. It's okay, because we have one in our hand still. So that still counts as equipping it for the entire episode. There was some other stuff here too. Let's see. Yeah, just some random weapons. Here's a mask. A Desert Chris. Okay. Oh, look. Glow sphere. That's a gadget. And guess what? We don't have to use torches anymore. The only problem is, where do we put it? I guess the Vine Reaper, for now, has to go. Hey, so after all that, the big stupid monkey didn't even have any rep that we were interested in. So we just moved on. Let's keep going. We're gonna find that corpse. Okay, so I stumbled upon, I'm lost, looking for this corpse, and I stumbled upon some Snapjaws, and they have dropped some artifacts. So let's see if we have anything that we must equip. Here is an electrified Desert Chris. Okay, that has to be equipped. So I think at this point it's time to say goodbye to the wrench. So let's go ahead and equip that in the wrench spot. And then, does it have a cell? It doesn't have an energy cell. We're still looking. Okay, what's this? And a flaming club. So first we're going to check out what kind of cell that is. Chem cell. Very low. Okay, but we have to equip the flaming club. Well, I guess it's going to have to go here because this one is rotating out now. We're finding a lot of stuff early. It's not going to be quite this hard to juggle later. Once we have identified a lot of stuff. So, but yeah, we are finding the weird things and using them as we are supposed to. Alright, so I finished exploring, and I also found a pretty nice masterwork musket, so we went ahead and equipped that, but then we had a big emergency. Okay, so I was running around looking for this corpse, and I ran out of water because I wasn't paying a bit of attention, and I'm actually kind of shocked that we haven't found any yet. So I am going to try to make it to someone who can sell me something. Who's the closest person here? Oh boy. I mean, any of them will have water. It's just maybe that vine farmer to the northeast. I'm standing in salty water, but that's not helping me. Come on, buddy. We're gonna make it. Okay, whew! Let's trade. Yes, please. I don't care. Just take stuff and give me some water. Goodness, that was close. I did not mean to let that get quite down there. Well, this is gonna blow through a lot of our inventory, but hey, at least we're gonna live. Right? Alright, I will catch you when we find this darn. I swear it's in here somewhere. We're gonna find this corpse. And now, I have plenty of water. Oh my goodness, you will never believe this. It was in the very last parasang that I explored. So I have been running around this darn salt marsh forever, and here it is. We have stumbled upon some flattened remains. Finally! So this is what we were looking for. It shows up under the oddities tab in your journal, and you're gonna see that there is a body up here. Right here. With a whole bunch of stuff. So let's go and take it. We have a no-worm skull, which we're going to go ahead and equip. Some strange tubes, which we're going to take and have identified and repaired. And then we're going to take all the rest of the stuff too. I don't think any of this other stuff counts as a gadget except for the strange tubes that are broken. Once we get them fixed, though, we will equip them. I'm going to go ahead and equip this buckler, though, because we don't have anything like that. Let's take that. There's 100 feet of wire there, by the way, so if you're looking for wire for Argyve, if you're doing a Jopa start, that is one way to get 100. Although there are probably easier ways, just like going to the rust wells. Okay, so we got what we were looking for. I will meet you back in our starting village, and we'll take a look at what we got. Okay, we're back here in Kapad, and I don't know if we can repair this ourselves, but let's take a look. So here we have wet, strange tubes. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think we can fix them until we understand them, and we can't understand them. Luckily, there is a tinker. Let's go find our brethren. I can't wait to see how much this costs. to have this identified and fixed. Let's trade. So let's come over here. First, identify them. Oh, that's not as much as I thought. There you go. We found ourselves a broken set of wet mechanical wings. So the implication, of course, is that Argyve's assistant was flying his way to either the rust wells or somewhere to look for wire for Argyve, and he never came back because he crashed and died. He got flattened by his crash. So let's go ahead and have these repaired. And then we'll have to wear them as soon as we can. Once again, we could use some money or some water. So let's sell some of this steel warhammer. Maybe this neck ring. And they sell those gyre irons, although we could rip them apart too. We need water though, so okay. There we go. Let's get those wings on, and this will be the end of the first episode of our loot through, where our nerd Poindexter finds every piece of weird gear in the game that he can find and uses it for at least one episode. In this episode, we used a gyre iron, completely useless. I don't even know if we hit anything with it or if you can. We did find a stun rod. It doesn't have a cell in it, but we'll get one in there, and then that'll be rocking. Yeah, we found a gigantic droid scrambler and a masterwork musket that we haven't used yet because we don't have any ammo, but we'll buy some while we're here in town. And then we will get on to finishing these town quests in the next episode. Thanks for watching. I'm Indie Dad Gamer. Join me for the next episode of Poindexter the Tinker and our loot through. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. And I will catch you on the next episode. Hey, if you have any ideas for interesting runs or characters, throw them down in the comments. I'd love to hear them because I'm always looking for interesting ways to play the game. I'm not great at it, and I still haven't beat the game legitimately yet, but darn it, we're going to get there. Maybe this will be the run. Wouldn't that be cool if we did it on a loot through? Who knows? Anyway, I'll catch you next time.